Hey y'all, in this video, you're gonna learn how to scale your Facebook ad campaigns. All right, before we get started, I just wanna say welcome everyone who is new. My name is Aaron. I am the co-founder of BitBranding, your #1 resource for e-commerce knowledge. If you're ready to take your store to the next level, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And with that said, let's get into it. You're about to learn how to scale your Facebook advertising, which is part of the optimization step inside the eCom accelerator process. And it's incredibly important because most people try to boost posts or set up simple campaigns, but get frustrated because they can't get the return on their advertising once they start to spend more money. And that may be exactly what you're doing right now. Don't worry, we're going to help you set up the campaign for success to get the positive return on investment, or as we like to call it, ROAS. Let's begin. All right, so step number 1, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have Facebook Business Manager, because this is going to give you full control over your advertising and all the tools inside of Facebook and Instagram that are available to you. All right, so step 2, go to the campaign level and make sure that you set up the campaign as a CBO. This is campaign budget optimization, and means that across the account, you want to have the budget distributed by Facebook through each ad set or each targeting option that you have in Facebook. So you're saying for the budget, I want to spend $100 per day. And with $100 per day, I want to target X amount of audiences, and Facebook will distribute that. Facebook's going to determine the budget for the full campaign versus what we've used to see in the past, which is by the ad set level, where you would just pick, okay, I want to spend $5 on this ad set, pick $5 on this ad set. This was initially the default for the longest time, but now they've moved over to the CBO, or campaign budget optimization. All right, so step number 3 is to build up 5 to 10 audiences. One of the biggest mistakes people make when creating Facebook ads is try to rifle their approach here, which is a hope and pray method, and it really just does not work. We actually used to do this too. We used to just say, this is exactly the audiences and we know better than Facebook, and we would just go this route. So we're gonna jump in here and I'll talk about that here in a second, but you need to give more data to Facebook. That way you have a chance of creating a winning combination. So at the ad set levels here, we have 10 different ad sets. And the reason that we have 10 different ad sets, let me go to a little bit better view for you. So let me see here. Here's the 10 ad sets that we have currently. So we have a lookalike audience. We also have video view audience. A lot of them are lookalike 1%, but there's 10 audiences that we had here, and then we eventually chose winners. But the reason that we chose 10 audiences was because you want to give Facebook as much data as possible. And we've already scaled this campaign a few times, but we created lookalike audiences of people who add to cart, Instagram engagement, purchases over $100 over 90 days. And the best way for me to explain this is that if you have an audience that's maybe like 100 or 1,000 people have added to cart, or 1,000 people engage with you on Instagram, or 1,000 people, that's really a data point that you want to make sure that you're going to hit those people, and it's a good lookalike audience for you to have. We also had other ones here too, which we can look lifetime, that whether or not they were working. Right now we have one that's completely out. This is the last 7 days. Let's just go lifetime here. $22 purchase, $19 purchase, $23 purchase. And so Facebook has been choosing which of these have been doing the best. This one right here, lifetime, obviously did really well. We turned that one off. May need to look at turning that back on. But the whole point for this video, this may be another campaign, but the whole point for this video is, how do you scale this? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can scale a campaign. Right now, since it's campaign budget optimization, we can talk about a campaign of increasing by the campaign level. So let's just say here we have, that is incorrect, active, let me see the total we had here. Top of the funnel, spring dresses. We can increase budget. We can increase by 20% every 3 days. I always say check it out like 72 hours. And then you can increase by 20% here. If you want to scale faster, what you can do is take this, create quick duplicate, which we will. And it's going to duplicate everything you have here, and you could add new budget. So instead of 123, you could say, Okay, I want another campaign of 123. So now you're spending 246 per day. So that's easily way to just double your budget that quickly if you don't want to wait. We're going to go ahead and close those out. Another way that you can do this is, let me see here. I want to delete this because I don't really want it. Don't want to get confused. All right, let's see here. Whoops, wrong one. Spring dresses. Another way that you can do this too is take these winners. So for us, let's go results wise. We had these right here, these 3 or 4 who did really well. So we could grab all of them and duplicate them into a new campaign and create a campaign only on this one and increase the budget that way too. So there's a vertical scaling, which is increasing the budget, horizontal scaling, which is create a new campaign or duplicating the campaign. And then there's what we call like diagonal scaling, which is taking the ones that have won here and putting them into a completely new campaign and scaling the budget that way and just picking your winners. It's completely up to you at that point. But the reason that you want to do this is because giving this many audiences to Facebook allows Facebook to put more data out there and it helps you win more auctions. As you can see, it did figure out winners, but we had a couple of them. Almost all of them had purchases except for 2. And even this one here had 11. We turned it off at that time anyway. What did it have? ROAS. So we care about the return on ad spend here. It was actually a 4. So at that particular time, it was one of the best actually. It's probably dropped since then, but let's just look at the last 14 days. ROAS is still doing decent here. Not crazy good, but one thing to look at is that, okay, are we moving in the right direction? Do we need to scale certain ones? And this campaign used to be at like a $50 or $60 a day. Now it's at 123. So I'm completely fine with the ROAS going down a little bit to those 2s or 3s if it continues to scale at that level and it still gets the link clicks that we want, still gets the add to cart value that we want. So there's a lot of other factors to look at here, but you want to give Facebook as many audiences as possible. The one thing you want to continuously be doing as well is as you're scaling, add in new audiences for Facebook to continue to learn or create a new campaign for them to continue to learn as well. All right, so as we get to the ad level, this is step number 4. At the ad level, give Facebook as many combinations of your product as possible with as many headlines. This will give Facebook even more data and give you a better opportunity of creating a combination that wins. So for example, we can go here and under that one, look at all these options that we have here on the left-hand side. We chose all of these options, and what Facebook's gonna do is it's gonna pick between all of them and show it to more people, and it's eventually going to say, okay, this one is doing better than the other one. So this white dress is doing so much better, so we're going to pick that one. It's going to pick the winner and let Facebook choose that. We also have our primary text, which is the text up top. We have multiple options there. So there must-have dresses, fine quality at affordable price. So it will pick the right text. So it's going to pick the right image and the right text. And then we have several headline options. So spring dresses, limited quantities available. Well, you may pick the white dress, this trendy topic, and then dresses perfect for spring or dresses limited in quantity or limited quantity available. It's going to pick the winning combination. So the best picture, the best description, the best headline, and you're letting Facebook choose that. And when you make those winning combinations, now Facebook's going to do all the dirty work or all the hard work for you. This may be a point where you're going through it and you're like, okay, this campaign scaling seems pretty easy now. But when you set up your campaigns like this, it takes a little bit more work. However, if you give Facebook what it wants, which you probably realizing is data, then you're going to have a much better rate of return and success. All right, so step number 5, let the campaigns sit for 5 to 7 days. Facebook needs time to figure it out and figure out the winning strategy for you. One other thing to think about too is that as we're going through this video, there's the iOS 14 update and Facebook update. So everything's going to a 7-day, 1 day, meaning it's like if somebody sees a product, they're going to be counted if they view it and purchase in 7 days. If it's outside of that window, it's not going to be counted. So you really need to make sure that your ads are running and you let the data come in for 7 days, because you may get a purchase 3 or 4 days later from something and it's just not attributing it there. Most people make the mistake of turning an ad campaign off after only a few days, which is a huge mistake. Facebook needs that time and data to be able to make decisions and pick winners and then start getting results for you and let you start winning auctions. I've seen firsthand campaigns do significantly better even just minutes after it turning off with the attribution window, which will still count towards the purchase as something that is turned off. So for example, you saw a campaign for us that had the best return there. We turned it off and it's continued to get a couple more purchases. So the return on ad spend actually went up, which is why it's so important to look at the attribution window and make sure that when you're turning something on or turning something off, that you are taking into account those 5 to 7 days and not just saying 2 to 3 days and that's it and shutting it off. There's probably going to be another video. We should create another video about lagging indicators and numbers that you should look at, so that you don't have to wait 7 days. Because there's certain numbers you do want to look at, but we don't need to get into them in this video. But as a general rule of thumb, let it run for 7 days. So that you can finally get all the data that you need. All right, so step number 6, once you have the campaign set up, you need to set up rules that you can automatically scale. Put in automation and allows you to be more hands-off and let Facebook take control, which gives you a better chance of creating winning ads. So we're gonna go back over to Business Manager here, and you are going to go right over here to rules. So on any side here, you can click the rules button and create a new rule. The rule name, you could do it as ROAS above 2, whatever you want to label it. You can do this. So instead of a ROAS that's above 2, oh, there we go. All active campaigns. Let's just see here. All active ad sets. You have options here. So all active, let's do here. All active campaigns. It have a ROAS of 2. What we want to do, increase daily budget. We can do this. 20%. There we go. You can also set a maximum daily budget cap. Maybe that's $50, $100, whatever that may be. And all of the following must match. Cost per result. So, hey, cost per result is less than, is smaller than, let's just say $40. So like if it's getting the return, but the cost is less than $40, you'd probably want to turn it off. It just depends. You can choose the range, and you want to do this daily. I honestly would say not daily. You want to do this custom. So adjust the rules here to specific days and times that you want to scale. We would want to say that, this would go on daily, sorry, but you would want to make sure that you change the increase to every 3 days. So if you have 3 days where it's above 2, then let's increase. This is something where you can go in and play around. We could actually talk about rules here, but I don't want to go into specifics yet. This may be a whole specific video that we can talk about. We'll probably link up later, but you want to go in here and start playing around with creating your own rules. Like I said, the ones that we have is that if it's a 2 on return on ad spend, so for every dollar you spend, you make 2, and it's been like that for 3 days in a row, we want to increase ad spend by 20%. You can do this for also campaigns that are performing less than 2. You could actually have them turn off. And you can actually do a lot of other cool things inside of the rules. Like I said, there'll probably be a whole video for that. So if you want one, make sure to comment below and let us know. Okay, I hope that helped you figure out how to scale your Facebook advertising. But without a great strategy, it's going to be really hard for you to create content that makes an impact with your audience. If you'd like to learn more about the Ecom Accelerator process and how you can create consistent sales online for your store, you can schedule a free strategy session by clicking the link below.